welcome to livealittlehigher.com. Today we continue learning Hovot HaLevavot, Duties of the Heart, by Rabbi Bahya Ibn Pakula. We're in chapter 5, the Gate of Abstinence. Last week, Rabbi Bahya was talking about how we have to really take care of our eyesight and our sense of hearing, of how we have to be very selective of what we look at and what we listen to. And today, he's talking about the sense of taste, about how we have to partake of food, how we have to have a relationship with food that is a healthy relationship. And he says that we should have a strategy as follows, that we should not eat excessive. We should only eat what we need to sustain ourselves. Like if you think about it, when you're eating, it's not that you're famished. Like if you're hungry, okay, you're gonna eat, you're hungry. But many people are not hungry and they keep eating and eating and eating and eating and eating. So what he's saying is that we have to really portion control. This is how they call it today, portion control. Like eat what is necessary for you. If you're a big guy and you're a bodybuilder and you need all this energy, obviously you have to eat more than a lady like me or a skinny person. Each person has different needs and different body structures, and they need different types of food. Not one diet is not for everybody. Like you have people who need to eat more protein, people who need to eat more carbs. I'm not a dietitian, I have no idea of this, but according to the Torah, what is true, and it's for everybody, is that we should be more in control of the food intake that we have, that the food intake that we have takes control over us. And if we learn from Maimonides, the Rambam also, he says that our stomachs is the size of our fist, and this is all you need to eat. This size of this amount of food is what you need for a meal, and that more is not good for the body. It's not good for your health. So we really don't need to eat excessively. A human being doesn't need to eat excessively to have enough energy to be able to do whatever he needs to do. We really don't need to eat so much. So what he's saying is that, interestingly, that a person, the lunch meal should be a lighter meal. I thought it was the other way around. In Colombia, when I was little, they used to say, like, you should have breakfast like a king, you should have lunch like a rich person, and then you should have dinner like a pauper, like nothing. And here he's saying the other way around. He says that a person should have a lighter meal at lunchtime than the one that you have before you go to sleep. Why? Because during the day you need more mobility. You need to be more mobility. And if you eat a very heavy meal during the day, you're going to be heavy. And so at night, the condition is less. You don't need to have so much energy. You are more relaxed. You're at home. You lie down, you read, or you watch the news. Whatever you do at night, you don't need so much energy. So then if your constitution is strong, engage in fasting even 1 day a week. This is something that 1,000 years ago people used to do. They used to fast. Today the rabbis don't think that this is healthy for us. They condone it. We are not supposed to be fasting every day, every week, once a week, because the constitution of people today is much weaker than how people were before. People were stronger before. So today, and in those days, people used to fast because this was a way of doing teshuvah. Today, the Alter Rebbe, he says, like, instead of fasting, give tzedakah, give money, give to charity. So the purpose in eating should be more for good health than for satisfaction. So the way you eat should be focused on your health, on your body, on having a healthy body, that you're eating in order to be healthy, not to have pleasure from food. And then he says your drink should be water, like people should drink water, unless your purpose in drinking wine is to improve your physical health. I imagine some people, it helps them with their blood pressure or other issues, but usually we only drink wine to do kiddush, to do a lechaim with other people. In the Torah, it's forbidden to drink alone. We only drink in order to celebrate something. And he says, give strong drink to the lost and wine to the embittered. Be careful not to drink in often or to excess, and do not join drinking parties, for this is the worst sickness there is for the religion and the world. Like the worst thing ever is people who are drunk. He says, this is not good for anybody. And the wise one aptly described this when he said, wine is an insolent one, strong drink in riotous one. In regard to food and drink, he said further, be not among those who drink wine to excess, or among gluttonous eaters of meat. For the drunkard and glutton will become destitute, slumber will clothe you in tatters. Like a person that eats like a glutton, and drinks is a person that's gonna end up not in a good place. So then endeavor to keep your hands of worldly possessions that do not belong to you. He says to abstain from not having what is not yours. Abstain from various kinds of theft, fraud, robbery, and wrong committed against others. Like, get far away from things that have nothing to do with you. And he says, hesitate before moving your hands and reflect on their consequences. You know, sometimes, like, the hands wander. Like, they have a head of their own, and suddenly you see your hand is doing something you really didn't command it to do. So be careful with your hands. Maintain your morals and modesty by exalting yourself above doing wrong with the hands, as it says. Who keeps his hands from any wrongdoing? Who shakes out his palms lest they hold any bribe? Instead, he says, he always gives the option of what you should do with your hands. Use your hands to perform Hashem's commandments. Open them with gifts to the poor, be generous, and open wide your hand to your poor and destitute brother. And as it says in Mishlei, she opens her hand to the poor. And you must also employ your hands in a vocation that will supply your needs. So it says, use your hands for your vocation. Work. Don't go asking for money. Go and do something with your hands. Or keep you from soliciting from others or from taking money that is forbidden. A vocation that will prevent you from becoming a vehicle for others, attainment or virtue through their generosity and kindness towards you, so that you do not see to them your merits, your kind acts to one who was kind to you. You must not become a burden to other people. So Rabbi Bahi is saying here, hey, you're healthy, you have a capacity in your life, you have attributes, you can do something with your hands. Go sew, be a carpenter, be an electrician, be a plumber, whatever you can do with your hands. Write books, whatever you can do with your hands. Go and get a vocation. Don't expect people to take care of you. And as one of the wise has said, God will have compassion upon a servant who detaches himself from the world without his detachment being a burden upon his friends, who engages in one of the trades and thus frees them from all trouble on his behalf. As it says, you will eat the fruit of the labor of your hands, and you will be happy, and it will be well with you. This is in Tehillim. So it says one should be industrious in working for one's basic needs. So everybody should do something. Everybody should take his abilities and do something with them. And so he says that similarly with your feet, also with your feet, keep them from walking with the wicked who seek successes, as it says. Like, keep away from bad people. Don't be next to them. Don't walk with them. Happy is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the company of scoffers. Rather hasten to all good deeds and to the sessions of the wise, as it says. He who seeks out, literally walks with the wise, will become wise. Like, attach yourself to wise people. Walk around with people that are in a higher level than you. And when you do this, you too will get to a higher level. You too will become a wise person. So use your seichel, be intelligent, know what you want in life. Hashem created you to be great. That's the truth. You have all the tools that you need to be great in this world. And you don't need to go and steal from people and do things that are not in accordance to the Torah. You have the way to be able to live an incredible life. So I wish you a blessed week, and remember, live a little higher. Thank you.